Welcome back to Network Africa. In a bid to continue to protect Nigeria from any deadly infectious disease like Ebola, former governor of Lagos State, Babatunde Fashola, has called on the Immigration Service to be more vigilant at the borders. He believes that though the country has been given a clean bill of health, it's not out of the woods yet, as fresh cases are popping up in some parts of Africa. Our correspondent, Loretta Chiogo, reports.
The Ebola threat was evident. Transmission was quick, and so handshakes and other body contacts were carefully avoided. Lagos was one of the states first and worst hit by the deadly virus imported by the index case Patrick Sawyer, who flew into the state from Lomé. The successful fight against further spread of the virus in the state under former Governor Babatunde Fashola is recognized by a group with a book. I had a chat with the former Lagos helmsman who acknowledged that for the first time there was a national and team effort to fight a common cause.
Lessons learned going forward is that we must unite our purpose. Our intentions must be clear to one another so that our actions can be united. So it's a day on which we can build with those memories for the future. That if we work together as a people, we're an indomitable force.
He explains that courage was mixed with fear in the battle to rid the country of the virus.
When we got to the center anyway, my special advisor who was there ahead of me, I wanted to shake hands, she withdrew her hand. And she didn't say anymore. So I just thought, well, maybe this is how to behave in Ebola area. So best thing, keep your hands in your pocket so you won't need to shake anybody. And that was a photograph that went around that, oh, Governor Fashola is afraid. Of course, we were all afraid. She wasn't taking any risks. And that's how health professionals should behave.
Nigeria heaved a sigh of relief on October 20, 2014, after 42 days without a new case of the disease. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
Now staying here in Nigeria, Tribunal Chairman Danladi has adjourned the trial of Senate President Bukola Saraki to November the 5th and 6th, just moments after it initially began. This latest development is to enable the tribunal await the judgment of the appeal court, where Senator Saraki has challenged the jurisdiction of the tribunal to try him for false declaration of assets as Kwara State Governor between 2003 and 2011. Before now, the tribunal had also adjourned till October the 21st to begin Senator Saraki's trial for the 13 charges preferred against him by the Code of Conduct Bureau.
It is right that you would recall that we are at the Court of Appeal, wherein we were able to argue the appeal bordering of issues of jurisdiction. It is ideal and tried in law that once issue of jurisdiction is raised, it has to be resolved. More so that the appeal itself has been argued in the Court of Appeal. To do in the circumstance is to adjourn and await the decision of Court of Appeal. That was my submission. And once judgment is delivered before then, whichever way it goes, we take it up from there. If judgment is not delivered, we'll come back to court and say, look, judgment has not been delivered. We have to maintain our position. That is to say, to await the judgment of the Court of Appeal.
By the defendant, by Mr. Dr. Saraki, is still pending before the Court of Appeal, and that appeal has been heard, and we are all awaiting the decision of the Court of Appeal, and it will have a bearing one way or the other on the proceedings pending before this court, because they are challenging the composition of the tribunal. They are saying that it's only 3 members. 3 members must sit at a time. So, and we have 2 members. So, if the Court of Appeal agree with their case and say at any given time 3 members must sit, which means whatever step we have taken here will be a nullity. So why is it that we don't just we just have to wait? So it makes sense, so that they are challenging that the composition of the tribunal, to the effect that the 3 members the tribunal as prescribed by the Constitution must sit at the time. We argued this appeal on Friday, and they adjourned it till Monday for judgment. Obviously, the period was too short. Having regards to the lengthy papers filed by the both respondent and the appellant, so they need to reconsider it. If in their own wisdom, struck out the motion for stay and then give us 2 days for judgment. So will it not be out of place for any lawyer to come here and proceed with the trial? It will be out of place. So we need to wait. If they are thinking of 2 days, and we now seek an adjournment for within 15-16 days here, I think it is reasonable.
That'll be all on Network Africa this time, but before we let you go, we have a question for you. It says, what do you think is responsible for the actions of some African presidents who seek to amend the constitution to accommodate their political ambitions? It says again, what do you think is responsible for the actions of some African presidents who seek to amend the constitution to amend their political ambition? You can send your answers to Network Africa at channelstv.com, or you can go on Twitter and find me there at Adeshewa Josh. Network Africa at actv.com, or you can find me on Twitter at Adeshewa Josh. One more story just coming in before I let you go. Tunisia's Prime Minister Habib Essid has sacked the country's justice minister after he reportedly criticized the United States ambassador for meddling in the country's internal affairs. The statement from the Premier's office did not give a reason for the minister's dismissal, but said Defense Minister Farhat Hochani would assume the duties of the Justice Minister for now. The fired minister, Mohamed Saleh Ben Issa, believes he had been fired because he refused to go to Parliament for the approval of a new justice law. That's Network Africa at this time. Thank you so much for watching. I am Adeshewa Josh, and I'll see you tomorrow.